but everything should end very sweetly. So this is the Vrindavan. We are describing Vrindavan pastimes. So very wonderful. We are still in Braj. Krishna is still in Braj. So Krishna's pastimes still are in Braj. Generally speaking, when we stop speaking, we are not saying that the Krishna's pastimes are concluded, but rather we say that Krishna's stops have taken some rest now. So now we'll go next. So we should marry Krishna in Vrindavan. You should all understand that Shyam Sundar will be married only in Vrindavan. Gopis are playing with Krishna. So we are worshipping Krishna. We are worshipping in Parakya. Generally speaking, there is no question of marriage with the Gopis because we are worshipping Krishna in the Paramur mood. Actually, no marriage of Krishna had taken place with the Gopis. What is the evidence? Before marriage, the thread ceremony should take place. So this Panditji is sitting with us. First, there is the thread ceremony takes place and then marriage takes place. So Krishna's thread ceremony was done in Mathura and Krishna had gone to the ashram of Sandipani Muni to study in Ujjain. So how he could have been married before his thread ceremony? So we know that in Vrindavan there is no marriage of Krishna because Krishna's thread ceremony did not take place in Vrindavan. And before thread ceremony it is not possible to do marriage. So our Siddhanta has been explained that Krishna's thread ceremony before, but we are only playing. Only Radha Krishna are playing. Radha Krishna are just playing. So this is not an actual marriage. So even if Krishna has not undergone the thread ceremony, we can still get him married to Radhika because this is just a game. So Akrur is in Mathura. Since Kamsa has become the king of Mathura, all the Yaduvamshis, all the descendants of Yadu dynasty, they are left Mathura because of the atrocities caused by Kamsa. Kamsa himself has become the king, and Kamsa is performing so many austerities on the relatives of Krishna, and all the relatives of Krishna, all the relatives of Vasudeva Maharaj, and all the people of Bhoja, Andhaka, Vrishni dynasty, they ran away helter-skelter in fear of Kamsa and due to the atrocities of Kamsa. Because Kamsa's atrocities were intolerable. But Akrur decided that I will not leave Mathura because now Akrur is going to get one service. Akrur wanted to stay in Mathura just because he was hankering for one particular service. What is the service? Narad Muni came. Narad Muni, seeing Narad Muni, Kamsa became very scared. Kamsa he told Narad Muni, "Oh Gurudev, I have not obtained the success. I have sent all the demons to Braj, but not a single demon has even returned to tell us whether the demon is killed or anyone else is killed. So I am very worried because these demons are sent by me incessantly, but none of the demons are coming back to tell me that they have been able to kill Krishna." So then Narad Muni gave him an idea. You should arrange for one bow sacrifice. And Nanda Maharaj should be invited and you should write a letter to him. You should come here with your sons. You should come here with... So Nanda Maharaj, because Krishna is the subject of Kamsa and Kamsa is the king of Mathura. So because you are the king of Mathura, you can order Nanda Maharaj to come here. When I sent so many, I myself, once I also went to Braj. When Kamsa came to Braj, as soon as he came to Braj, then Yogamaya caught the neck of Kamsa, and so near the temple of Rangaji, there is Brahmakunda is there. Then as soon as Kamsa was bathed in the Brahmakunda, he became a gopi. So So he is king. He doesn't know how to make the cow dung patties. But Yogamaya forced him and beat the hell out of Kamsa and made him to make the cow dung patties. So Kamsa became very scared. He was turned into a female, and Yogamaya was slapping him and beating him and kicking him. So finally, so what I should do? Then he joined his palms and he told Purnamasi Devi, he rubbed his nose in front of Purnamasi Devi, I took the vow that I will never enter into Braj again. I will never come to Braj. So when will you come again back to Braj? I will never come, never come. I don't want to stay here. I want to run from here. You have made me into a woman. You are kicking me, beating me. Stop this. You are making me make cow dung patties. So then Purnamasi Devi again grabbed the neck of Kamsa, that woman, Kamsi, and dropped her in the Brahma Kunda. Then Kamsi again became Kamsa and then ran helter-skelter back to Mathura, never looking back. He was so scared that again Purnamasi might catch him and make him into an old woman and make do cow dung patties. So there was one Akrur. Akrur is there. Akrur is a very good relative of Krishna. He is uncle of Krishna. He will arrange that Krishna and Balram will come here in the company of Nanda Maharaj. So Kamsa, he sent his golden chariot with Akrur. He told Akrur, take this golden chariot and you should bring Krishna and Balram. So Akrur got up and he left early in the morning. Even if you go by bullock cart, within half an hour, within 45 minutes, you will reach Vrindavan. But Akrur got up early in the morning, right after dawn. But he reached at Nanda Maharaj abode in the time of dusk. So how it took him 12 hours to reach so far? Because Akrur was riding the chariot. He was absorbed in the deep sentiment. Today, I will have darshan of Krishna. For this reason, I was stay put in Mathura despite the atrocities of Kamsa. So today I will meet Nanda Maharaj. Today I will meet my beloved Krishna. I will meet. That time Krishna asked Nanda Maharaj, "Oh Nanda Maharaj," Krishna asked, "Oh Dad, who's this person?" Then Nanda Maharaj said, Nanda Baba told, "Oh my dear Kanhaiya, this is your uncle." So immediately, then Akrur is thinking in his mind, Krishna will ask his father, "Who am I?" Then Nanda Maharaj will tell me that this is your uncle. Then Krishna will want to offer me obeisances and want to touch my feet. Then I will take Krishna and took him in my lap and I will embrace him, I will kiss him. So he is thinking like that. So he is. So then Akrur kept on riding a chariot. He came from Mathura and then he went so ahead, he went even up to Palwal. He forgot. Then he asked, "Where is Nandagaon?" Then they told, "Nandagaon is way back. You have come much ahead." Then again he turned his chariot. He again changed the direction of the horses. Again he came back towards Nandagaon. So it took him a long time because he was missing the road and sometimes he was going past Nandagaon. So Srila Gurudev used the word Ghoshapalli. Ghoshapalli means always the sound is coming, shouting, "Oh, release that calf, don't catch that calf, that calf will drink the milk of a cow, stop that cow has gone out of the cow shed, oh, milk that cow, bring the pot, oh, why cow has not milked yet." So this shouting is going on in all four directions, that is called Ghosha. So that is called Ghoshapalli or the cowherd village of Nanda Maharaj. So Nanda Maharaj, everywhere the news spread, "Oh, one person has come to the palace of Nanda Maharaj and he has come on the golden chariot." Everywhere the news spread. So all the gopis, they went there. And then Krishna, he covered all the sakhas, they came there. No Brajavasis was able to come. All were surrounding Yashoda Maiya. They had tied up their clothes in a bag and then they had come there running. Everyone was looking, everyone is hearing. Hundreds and thousands of gopas had come. Who has come? Who is that person who has come in the golden chariot? Who has climbed the golden chariot and why he has come to Braj? All the Brajavasis had jam-packed the palace of Nanda Maharaj. There were here and there, every corner, only Brajavasis were there. So this is the language of Braj. If if any woman is riding a motorcycle, then they become so wonderstruck. If a woman is riding on the motorcycle, then they become wonderstruck. So the Brajavasis are very innocent. When they see a woman riding a motorcycle or a scooter, they become wonderstruck. So Brajavasis, they are very simple-hearted. They have no sense of this Western culture. They have never seen a woman riding a motorcycle. But even now, Brajavasis, slowly the Braj is also changing. But even today, Brajavasis are very simple-hearted. What Brajavasis they saw, this is the messenger sent by Kamsa, and he might take Kanhaiya to with Nanda Maharaj to Mathura. So all Brajavasis, they came to the door of Nanda Maharaj. Oh Baba, we'll also go with Baba. We'll go with Baba. We'll not stay without Kanhaiya. We also go. When Gopis heard that, then Srimati Radhika, when this news entered into the ears of Srimati Radhika, she became unconscious. What will happen? Lalita Vishakha began to say, why you are so scared? Why you are so, don't be worried. Yashoda will never let Krishna go. Where will Yashoda let her baby loving darling go? No, don't worry Radhika, don't worry. Lalita Vishakha telling Radhika, Yashoda will never part with her son. Don't worry, Krishna will remain in Braj. He will never go to Mathura. So all night Radhika and somehow Lalita Vishakha passed their night, and then Krishna played in the... Then Mother Yashoda got up, she took bath, she worshipped her Narayan Shaligram Shila. Then she fed some breakfast to Radhika. Then we want to go quickly to Mathura. Mathura is very nearby. First, first Nanda Maharaj, you should take breakfast. Otherwise, how can I feed my Krishna and then Balram? So first Nanda Maharaj had the breakfast, and then Krishna and Balram had breakfast. Mother Yashoda fed Krishna, Balram and Nanda Maharaj also. So after Krishna and Balram have climbed the golden chariot, all the Brajavasis, all the Sakhas, they some have climbed the chariot, some have climbed on the bullock cart. So they actually took their own vehicles, and they all wanted to go with Nanda Maharaj. As they were going towards Mathura, that time when the chariot began to, all the gopis came there. Which were these gopis? Vipaksha, Tatastha, Swapaksha. On the party of gopis of Radhika had no strength. They could not even get up. Only Vipaksha, Srutpaksha, so Vipaksha gopis were there, Tatastha gopis were there, but Swapaksha gopis of Radhika were not there. All the gopis of Radhika's party like Lalita, Vishakha, Tungavidya, Rangadevi, Champaklata, they were sitting there like iron statue or a statue of stone. They had no strength. They were whether conscious or unconscious, no one knows. What was their condition, no one knows. The Swapaksha gopis were stunned. They had become like a doll. They had become like a picture. They had become like completely lifeless, motionless. So, oh, gopis were telling, oh Krishna, you should ride the chariot on our heart, and you should divide our bodies into two parts. We don't want to stay alive when you are going to Mathura. You should ride the chariot on our body, and you should kill us. Then Krishna told the gopis, today I will go, tomorrow I will kill Kamsa, and day after tomorrow I will come back. Somehow the gopis tried to tell Akrur. So somehow Krishna told Akrur that he should ride the chariot very nicely, quickly escape this place, otherwise gopis will stop us. So then Akrur very quickly spared the chariot. Then the chariot kept on moving, and gopis were kept on looking at the chariot. They were keeping and looking at the flag of the chariot. They kept on looking at the dust raised by the wheels of the chariot and all by the hooves of the horses. And they kept on looking there. I don't want to describe the Uddhav pastime. I cannot describe that. I will not describe Brahmar Gita. Please forgive me. because time is telling not to describe the Uddhavas coming to Braj, and but two more incidences are coming. So this happens to me in Bhagavatam, that there are two incidences are there. One is very, very, very pitiable incidences, and then there is so there is actually, how can there be contrast? So if pastime is in the morning and then pastime is in the evening, so I can divide the pastimes. But now, but now time is limited. So this, I wanted to describe this Uddhav pastime. Then I wanted to marry Krishna. But today it is not possible because the time has come to stop the discourse of Bhagavatam. So please forgive me. Some other time I will tell you about Uddhav's coming to Braj, and I will tell you the Bhramar Geet. I will describe Bhramar Geet, and I will try to describe the moods of Srila Gurudev, how Srila Gurudev used to describe Bhagavatam. So Srila Gurudev's throat used to become choked with tears when he used to speak about Uddhav's message which was sent from Krishna. So when this happens, heart will melt. So this, generally speaking, when Gurudev is speaking on these topics, he is speaking in a neutral mood, because if he will not speak in the neutral mood, then he will be completely lost in the deluge of emotions. So therefore Srila Gurudev used to speak in a neutral mood, otherwise he would not have been able to speak about the message sent by Krishna to the gopis and the gopis' madness of ecstasy, Chitrajalpa, Ujjalpa, Sanjalpa, and all these moods. So Nanda Maharaj is actually telling Akrur, oh Akrur, you should not don't take us to the city. We don't like the city. We are not experienced in staying in the city. Please don't take us to the city. Please leave us on the outskirts of the city of Mathura. Then there was an aerial sound. This place is also called the door of Vrindavan. So Nanda Maharaj stayed with the Brajavasis, and he waited on the outskirts of Mathura, called the gate to Vrindavan. Then Krishna was requested to come to palace, Akrur told. Then Krishna told that I will not come to the palace right now. I have come for a very important purpose. Let me finish that work, then I will certainly come to your place. But right now I will not come. Then Akrur was sent back to the palace, and all the Brajavasis slept in the tents. They set up the tents and they slept there. Today is Krishna's first day. Without Mother Yashoda, Krishna has to sleep. This is a very big task, uphill task for Krishna. He cannot, how can he sleep without Mother? Mother Yashoda daily returns. Battery.